Hey y'all, it's Beauty the Braid Boss, and we are back with another braid tutorial. This one I'm going in depth because the last one I posted there were a few questions, so I got the videos here, so let's get into it. So today we are doing 12 stitch back braids. Now to start off, I'm always going to make sure both sides are even. So what I do is I take one part down the middle, perfect that part, and then I go from there. That way I have 6 on one side, 6 on the other. Now I'm going to take my gel and go down that middle part and just clean it and perfect it. And as I'm perfecting, I like to smooth out the side that I'm not using just so it lays down more and I'm not catching hair, as I braid. And y'all, a little goes a long way. You do not need a whole bunch of gel to perfect the part. Like, I hate when I see braiders grabbing a whole bunch of gel. It's never that deep, y'all. It's never that deep, I promise. Now that I've got my middle part down, now the last row, we're going to put 4 knotless braids, okay? The reason why we do this because the nape of the neck is narrow. Nobody's neck is even. It's very rare you will find somebody with an even neck, okay? So we want to make sure that our braids come at the same level in their proportion, right? So again, with that being said, we're going to do one row of knotless braids. And depending on how small your braids going to the back is, that also depends on how small the braids in this row is. So if we were doing like 32 stitch back braids, I would do smaller braids because we want the overall look at the end to be fuller. So always keep that in mind. Now I'm going to start on my first braid going to the back. Y'all, if you have watched my previous videos, y'all know that the face basically gives you a parting path, if that's even a word or a phrase. So my favorite technique that I developed over the years is using the client's brows. And what I mean by that is the first braid, I'm actually going to take the tail of her brow and take that all the way back, and that's going to be my first braid. Yes, try it. It'll come out even every time. So for all my braiders who have a hard time with the size of the braids being in proportion, that is a technique that you need to use. Start off at the tail of the brow, take it all the way back. That will give you your first braid. The second braid, I'm going to go one finger over, and that's going to give me the arch of her brow. From the arch of the brow, you're going to take that all the way back, and that's how you're going to get your second brow. If you haven't noticed, use the one finger or probably one and a half, and then you're just going to follow that, along the head, and you're going to get even braids each time. Use the brows, honey, okay? Use the brows. Now, when it comes to my parting, y'all, I am very precise. And again, as you can see, I am not using a whole bunch of gel to part the hair. It ain't that deep. I promise you it's not. But I have been using this method for about 5 years. So, I mean, I can do it with my eyes closed. You know what I'm saying? But as a beginner birdie, you want to make sure that your parts are as clean as possible, okay? And even if they're not, analyze your work and just take notes on what you can do better. You know what I'm saying? This is a technique that I use when I'm doing any type of feed in braids. I take the gel and I go up along both sides of the braid, and sometimes the middle just depends on how big the braid is or if I feel like it. For this particular client, I don't think I went down the middle because I didn't need to, because her hair was pretty, it was just doing what it needed to do. Yeah. Now that comb is gonna be your best friend. As you can see, I actually stick the comb in my client's hair because it's too much to be putting it back down on the counter or whatever. Like, girl, plop that in their client's head and keep it pushing, okay? And I use the comb to comb out their hair as I'm going down the braid. And this is how I get my braids as clean and as flat as possible. We don't want any fuzziness coming out of the braids, but that also comes with a good blow dry when you blow dry your clients out. And y'all, it may be extra, but I bounce back and forth from side to side, so that helps. That works for me. I mean, you could do one side, then do the other side, but I don't know. I was being real extra this day, like going from side to side. I ain't never done that. But yeah. And see how all the braids are even, y'all. I'm telling you, the brows is going to give it every time, every time. And if you have a hard time, like grasping the brow technique, comment down below and I will do a thorough, detailed video and close-up video about the brow technique with getting your braids even. Now this is just me. I always braid my braids down halfway, then go back and finish the ends. I don't know what it is. To me, it makes it seem like I'm going faster. Maybe not, but that's just something that I do. Always remember to do your cool down on the client's scalp whenever you're doing any type of braids to the scalp, because the scalp heats up because of the tension. So you want to cool it down with any type of braid moves in the blow dryer. I promise you it's going to release a lot of tension off of the client's scalp. So make sure you do your cool downs. And there is the final braid slay, y'all. If you are in the Dallas DFW area, click that link down below in the description box. Book those appointments and let me do your braid slay, honey. Like, it's the only way. Okay? Let's get it. Hey, Braid Boss, how are you? Yes, you. I know you trying to get into the braiding industry because you want to make a bag. I get it. Well, I can help you. The enrollment at the Braid Slay Academy is always open, and all you need to do is text Braid Boss to 214-438-0848 to schedule your clarity call, and I can answer any question that you may have about the class and the curriculum. Don't sleep on yourself. Stop waiting. The time is now, honey. Let me help you get a good bag, okay?